I've spoken to the silence of the night, not knowing if my words would reach the light. But something in the atmosphere had changed. The chains around my spirit rearranged. I didn't pray with eloquence or art. I prayed with snot and tears and a fractured heart. No King James language, no theological degree, just a broken help me God from a desperate need. Every whisper is a weapon in the spirit. Every tear becomes a prayer when heaven hears it. Heaven hears the cry of the humble heart. Heaven hears when the world is falling apart. You don't need a cathedral or a throne, just a willing soul that calls you home. Heaven hears. Heaven hears. Through the distance, through the years, from the prison cell to the palace floor. Heaven hears, and heaven opens the door. From hospital beds to midnight floors, from prison cells to open doors, the prayer of faith can move the ground and shake the walls of hell around. Hannah wept so deeply at the temple gate. The priest thought she was drunk, he couldn't relate. But her prayer was so raw, so guttural, so real, that God opened a wound that medicine couldn't heal. 1 Samuel 1, a barren woman prayed, and the prophet Samuel was the answer that she made. Every whisper is a weapon in the spirit. Every tear becomes a prayer when heaven hears it. Heaven hears the cry of the humble heart. Heaven hears when the world is falling apart. There's a lie. The enemy tells you when you pray, he says, God isn't listening. He says, you're not good enough for God to hear you. He says, if God was listening, he would have answered by now. But Psalm 34:17 says, the righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. He hears. Not sometimes, not when you're perfect, not when you've earned it. He hears the addict praying through withdrawal. He hears the single mother whispering through exhaustion. He hears the teenager crying in a locked bathroom. He hears the widow talking to an empty chair. He hears the prisoner who everyone else forgot. He hears. And not only does he hear, he responds. Jeremiah 33:3, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. He doesn't just hear, he answers with things beyond your imagination. So keep praying, keep calling. Heaven is not on mute. Heaven hears. Call and he will answer. Seek and you will find. Knocking, every door will open. Pray and watch the mountains move in time. Matthew 7:7-8. The invitation stands, not for the perfect, not for the polished, but for the desperate, the broken, the unfinished. Peter was sinking in the waves and cried, Lord, save me! 3 words, that's all it took. Matthew 14:30. And Jesus immediately reached out. Immediately. Not eventually, not after a committee meeting. Immediately. Hezekiah was told he would die. Isaiah brought the word, set your house say goodbye. But the king turned his face to the wall and wept and prayed a prayer that changed what death had kept. 2 Kings 20, God added 15 years because one man refused to accept the verdict of his fears. If prayer can rewrite a death sentence from God, then prayer can rewrite anything in your story, beloved. So I will pray when I have nothing left. I will pray through every valley, every depth. I will pray for the stranger and the friend. I will pray from the beginning to the end. My prayer closet is my war room now. My knees are my weapons, my tears are my plow. And every prayer I prayed that seemed to disappear was actually a seed planted, and the harvest is here. Heaven here. I'm lifting up my voice. Heaven here. Prayer is always the right choice. From the whisper of the child to the cry of the old. Heaven hears every prayer is solid gold. Heaven here. The deaf God is a myth. Heaven here. He's been listening ever since the first breath he breathed into Adam's frame. Heaven hears, and it responds in Jesus' name. He hears every word, every word, every sob, every silence that is too heavy for words. He hears that too. Heaven hears, always hears. Keep praying. He's listening right now.